Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Dalton Select Board to order, please. Please note this meeting is being recorded by Zoom for the purpose of taking minutes in Dalton Cable TV. All those able to rise for the pledge, please do so at this time. And our newest member, Jeannie, will you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's see. Okay, roll call vote. Let's see. Jeannie, are you here?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
John?
Just in case you, oh, you've got one. Okay.
John's here. And Bob's here. Eric? Town manager Eric?
Here.
And Lori. Okay. Next on the agenda is the minutes of April 29th, 2026.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes of April 29th, 2026, as presented.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further corrections or suggestions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay. The public to address the board. This is the time when the public may address the board on any item listed on the meeting agenda or any issue or matter of the town. For all public commentary, the board may limit public address segment to 30 minutes. Additionally, each individual may be limited to 3 minutes. When addressing the board, we ask you to do the following. Please raise your hand to be recognized by the board chair. Please step up to the microphone at the podium to speak. Please identify yourself by name, address, or the company/institution you represent. Please address your comments to the board chair. Please make your comments concise and try not to repeat statements made by others. Discussion or debate on any issue will not take place during the initial public address. The chair or the designee may answer procedural questions at this time. If you wish to speak during a particular agenda item later in the meeting, as a courtesy, please request during the public address portion to the right to speak later. That way, the board chooses not to grant you the right to speak later. You have the opportunity during the public address portion. In order to engage the public, the select board will also allow limited public comments later on in the meeting on a particular agenda item. Is there anyone who wants to speak on an agenda item tonight?
We just have a request that the Dalton Police Station told us to bring in front of you guys.
Okay, come on up to the podium, please.
Hi, I'm April Friend.
Robert Howard.
We're at 393 High Street here in Dalton. We got this letter in the mail about an unregistered truck in the yard, and he wants to restore it.
Yeah.
We planned on selling it this year already. It's just, we were low on cash for the last couple years, and now we got the cash, and we were gonna fix it up and resell it.
Restart and then sell it, because she's afraid to drive the thing anyways. It's a big
Do you have a
V8.
timetable for doing this?
Yeah, well, it said we can request 180 days, because I got her painted all and everything.
How about 6 months?
Yeah.
180 days. Okay, everybody agree with that?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we extend the appeal for 180 days.
Second.
Okay.
We already put it in the paperwork.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if you
We just got to vote on it, and then you can...
Oh, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you got your 180 days.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, appointments. We need a select board person to the Berkshire Regional Transit Authority Advisory Board. Anybody want to volunteer?
Just let me say this. This probably applies to Tony, too. The reason, I am the current BRTA representative. Unfortunately, the meeting time that they have directly conflicts with the meeting time of the Clean Air Committee, which I am a member of. So that is where I had to inform the chairman I could no longer be BRTA representative. Now, I think, Tony, you follow, especially your chair.
it's Thursdays, yeah.
So,
Is that an evening?
no, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think the third or fourth Thursday of every month.
I'm hesitant, but I would be happy to do it. I'll just
Okay,
block that
you
time
can
off
try
on
it.
my
If it doesn't
calendar.
work
Yeah.
out, we'll just redo it.
Yeah, okay,
I'll
happy to
walk
do
you
it.
through it and give you
Yeah,
all the
yeah, no, then I'm
details.
happy to try. It's more of just like work
All right,
stuff.
thank you
Mr.
for,
Chairman, I
Thanks.
move
Thank you,
that, Jeannie Ingram be appointed as representative, Dalton's representative to the Berkshire Regional Transit Authority.
Second.
okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Jeannie. Like I said, if it doesn't work out, try it. If it doesn't work out,
That's-
we'll restart it
Okay.
again.
Great.
You sure it has to be a selectman?
They prefer it to be a selectman, yes.
Doesn't have to,
It doesn't have
but
to
they
be.
prefer.
Well, if it doesn't
to
work
be a
out,
decision
We can
maker.
appeal
Look
to
around
the
for
public,
the-
yeah. we can appeal
Okay,
to
yeah,
the
no,
public.
thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
The meetings are held in the bus station.
Okay.
On the second floor.
Mr. Boyle,
What?
next one.
Oh, okay. Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Makhi Thompson as DPW Seasonal Laborer pending pre-employment physical and drug screen, starting date June 22nd, 2026.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Is the person here tonight for that? No. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for stepping up.
Number 7's been taken care of.
Yeah, we already did 7.
So, while we're on 7, I just want to bring to your attention that Mr. Boyle indicated that he wanted a sweep done of the town. The police department divvied it up road by road and swept every road in the town. There are a total of, I think, 44 citations that were given.
Wow, that went up? 44 have gone out?
As far as I understand, yes.
I noticed, I didn't, because I go by it every day and I just got used to it, but on East Housatonic Street, there was
Snap-on truck is gone.
Snap-on tool truck is gone. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the one that people found particularly obnoxious after 3 or 4 years.
If I could just say something too,
Go ahead, Tony.
it's quite a number. Kudos to Becky who compiled this list, but we really don't have a fine system of any kind in terms of, and my point is, it speaks to the notion of our bylaws being outdated, that it's a non-criminal offense, and, you know, we're reasonable, but to a point, we should be reasonable before fines are imposed. So, again, the notion of updating our bylaws.
Tony, that may be correct, and Eric's pointing out the same thing to me. Our bylaw may be outdated, but about 10 years ago, the attorneys did upgrade it and submit it to the court. Perhaps it needs re-upgrading to a suitable level, including a fine system that the courts would find acceptable.
Yeah, by my reading, it's basically, you go around, you do a sweep, you wait 30 days, if they haven't, you send them another letter.
Yeah.
Then you wait another 30
Yeah.
days, and you fine them $25, and wait another 30 days and fine them $50, and wait another 30 days and fine them $100, and then you take them to small claims court and hope it doesn't get dismissed.
Right.
But it's a lot more, you know, we're spending a lot more money.
44, huh? Well,
Then
we're
we're
on the
gaining.
subject. The way the system used to be, not too long ago, when the select board administered it. Select board, the police located the business, gave us the address, we found the owner of the property, sent out the letter, and then there was always appeals. And the select board's administrative assistant to the town manager acting as the clerk who heard the appeals. And there are appeals such as it was just mentioned here by this family. Look, I'm restoring it, blah, blah, blah. I still have payments on it, I can't get rid of it, blah, blah, blah. Or it's my kid's car, I'll get rid of it. But instead of the select board hearing appeals, I think we should appoint the select board's administrative assistant to hear appeals and render judgments, and I could assist her to make the system more efficient.
Or you could put it to me and I'll just deny them all and we'll move on.
Okay?
I don't have an issue with that.
No, you can't have
If
any
you want me to be
reasonable-
the bad guy, I'm happy to do it.
No.
I think it's
Well,
a
I think
select board
I think
problem.
Lori should do it because she's a reasonable person. You gotta listen to reason when somebody, like we just did, you gotta listen to a reasonable excuse.
I think, I understand what you're saying, Ed, John, but I think it's on this committee
Yeah.
to make that, it shouldn't be on one person, it should be on all five.
Yeah.
Ah, no, okay,
Yeah.
whatever you say.
I honestly do too. I think it should stay with the select board. Yeah.
I mean, we're elected.
I don't want to put all that on one person.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be.
Yeah, well,
I second that, yeah.
okay, we're ready to move on? Okay, number 8, Dalton Democratic Committee request to increase community engagement. Michelle, is Michelle here? Yep.
I'm here, but Lisa Swider is going to.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Swigert, 60 North Street, number 3, and I am proposing that we have a bash at the ballots. We were going to call it a party at the polls, but you know what can happen at those. So what we're hoping to do, I represent the Dalton Democratic Committee, and I am the public outreach person. And so what we hope to accomplish is getting Dalton residents to participate and engage in the voting process, regardless of what party they're in. So this is suggested to be a nonpartisan event, and we are hoping to celebrate democracy on neutral ground, so there would be no campaign signs, no buttons or cards or literature of any kind. We hope to have this first one on November 3rd, the midterm elections. Our proposed space to use would be the Kittredge House, seeing as it's gonna be November, so it might be kinda cold out. We also want to engage by having more signs on Main Street on voting day to point people in this direction. Remember, today's voting day, go vote, this is where you go. And the signs would be like Happy Election Day, thanks for voting, those type of signs, very neutral. We hope to have sign-ups for transportation if there are any residents who need transportation to the poll, to the voting polls, to be able to actually get there and vote if they want to do that in person. So we would have like food and games and, oh, I'm so excited about this. We also want to show like an empty ballot to people like who are younger, like the family kids and stuff, to see what it looks like. Maybe an actual voting booth there. That would be fun. So we want to involve some seniors from Wacona who are going to be soon to be registered to vote, and have them participate. And if we have donations come in for this in any way, what we're trying to, figure out is if we would need like a line item in the town budget so that we would be able to have a source of funds, but have it not be, a Democratic fund or a Republican fund. What else? Yeah, we're really excited about this idea. We have over 5,000 registered voters in Dalton, and 430, I think, voted this last election. So we're hoping to get maybe, 450. That would be good.
451, let's go for it.
But no, we do want to increase engagement in our community and hopefully provide people with the experience of having fun around, celebrating their democracy. So, any questions for me?
Just one thing about voter participation. If we had more candidates running for elected offices and offices were more competitive, it would certainly increase the turnout.
I agree with you. I like your way of thinking.
Thank you.
I do.
So a couple quick points. Obviously, the Kittredge House is not a town of Dalton property, so
Okay.
we have no authority over what goes
Okay.
there. I would be pretty uncomfortable if it's a party-sponsored event, the town collecting any sort of funds
Okay,
through the town accounting mechanism.
okay,
If that's something you want to do as a party, more power to you, but you should be keeping your own funds for that. That would be my opinion. The board obviously can override me on that, but I think that's a lot safer from my perspective.
okay, thanks.
Yep.
Comments from the board?
Can I just ask, can any of you think of any similar or adjacent kinds of requests from other groups where
Never
we've
heard of one,
done,
never.
done like a fund for a third party like that?
Nope.
No. But you'll get back to us with more information, Lisa.
Yes, yeah. This is just my coming, and bringing it forward to you.
Great, yeah.
Okay?
And full disclosure, I'm vice chair of the Dalton Democrats, so whatever the vote is, maybe I shouldn't even speak for that matter. I won't speak or comment.
Okay. Anything else? Okay.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
No, it's great.
Okay, number 9, update on the swap shop. Oh, that's Lori.
Hello, Lori Martinelli, 488 East Housatonic Street, and I'm here with the Green Dalton Committee just to give a quick update on our swap shop. You remember in April of 2025, this board unanimously passed our climate action plan, and among other things, that plan calls for reducing waste. So we've done a couple things. A, we have composting now because there's no reason for food to be in the compostable food to go into the waste stream. And we have a very successful program now. The red building at the transfer station is pretty active, and I think they're picking it up 3 times a week now. So it's really increased. And then we also got a swap shop from the state. They gave us a nice building. I don't know if you've seen it up there. But we haven't been able to get it staffed, so it's pretty much closed. And the busy days, according to Brian, are Fridays and Saturdays. And we tried to get a senior, and the senior tax work write-off program, work-off program. We did have a woman, but she could only do it on Fridays. Now she has a medical issue, she can't do that. So we would like to find a way to get someone to really be in that swap shop, because unless someone's there monitoring it, it's just gonna sit there. People can dump things off that we don't want to go in there. I mean, we really need someone to be saying what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, encouraging people to come in and look around, because we want people to take things in addition to leaving things. So that is my update, and with the request that we go forward and try to find some funds so that we can hire someone, a $15 an hour position for 6 or 8 hours a week. It's not a lot of money, but I think it would go a long way, because we're getting inquiries about the swap shop, that it's closed, it's not available, and so we didn't really have a good start off with this, a lift off with this. It sort of was exciting, then it sort of has fallen flat. So, any questions?
Well, I'll comment, obviously. I've spoken with Lori, I've spoken with Eric on this too. To much fanfare, we started May 1st. And just to let everyone know, we are reimbursed several thousands of dollars because of this via the state, because we are recycling.
Right.
And Dalton, in some respects, has become a leader in central Berkshire, what with composting now, swap shop, of course, our metal, our brush, mattresses. I believe now we're also going to be taking any appliances with a cord. So we're on the right path, and I don't know if we have an answer per se. We have an attendant, and those are all part and parcel of, aside from the brush, which is down below, before him. But I understand the swap shop may have more oversight required. Everyone should know we have a power pack now. The Green Committee purchased an $800 power pack, which will be used to test all appliances that go in there. In the off-season, that power pack has to be taken out. The lithium battery will freeze, whether it's kept here at the senior center as a backup of some sort, or the DPW. So there is a plan here, in terms of, you know, where we'd like to see ourselves going. So I'm all in favor if we can find a person to oversee that until the senior work-off program picks up speed, or if indeed we ask for responsibility of Brian and compensate accordingly. I don't have an answer, but I know I'd like it to be successful.
Tony, if we're looking for funds, immediate funds, to fund this position for 6 to 8 hours a week, perhaps Bud
Oh, yeah.
has funds within his budget to carry another employee and that position level, 6 to 8 hours a week at that salary level that you indicated. Until we can figure out how to fund this. I mean, we really don't want to go through the budgeting process again. We just finished with that. And the finance committee, et cetera, and all that. So I would, or walk over and talk to Bud, see
All
if
right.
he's got his money.
You know, Bud's sitting on money, this RDP money, as Tony said, you know, the town of Dalton gets points based on the amount of recycling we do, and because we're doing a lot, we do have money
Yeah, why
in
don't you
that.
see if you can work something out with him?
Okay,
Yeah, that's where I would start.
okay.
Get immediately results and get up and running.
Bud's
that
my new
sound?
best
How's that-
friend.
How's that sound to you, Eric? How's that sound?
Well, so the money that they're referring to right now is earmarked for two things. The first is the camera security system for the transfer station, because there's been some concerns with dumping in the brush area and then people using the facilities not on regular hours. So the first thing is to update the camera system for security, the transfer station. And the second thing is that the attendance shack is in pretty rough shape. And Bud was basically saying, look, either we got to re-roof the thing this year, or it's crappy enough that his intention was to just replace it, get a Cloder Farms or one of the prefab sheds, and then wire it and drywall it. So you have a functional space moving forward. That will chew up all the funds that are in that to do that. So if you're saying you're gonna put another employee in an 8x10 shack, which gets very little traffic and doesn't really have a whole lot in that, to me, I would spend the money on upgrading the attendance building rather than putting a second body at the transfer station. I've poked my head in there pretty much every single time I go to the transfer station, which is about once every 10 days. So far, I haven't seen it accumulating a bunch of stuff. So I don't see a need for it personally, but that doesn't mean that you all agree with me. And if you instruct me and Bud to spend the money on the person instead of the attendance shed, we'll do that.
I guess my concern is, it's a conundrum. We have a swap shop, which we're receiving points and consequently monies from the state. It would be disingenuous of us to say we have a swap shop and then not staff it or close it accordingly. So I don't want to lose that, and yet I'd like to get us off on the right foot. So this attendance shop is what the current one is? It's not by the brush area we're talking about? The
Correct.
current
No,
one.
we're not
Okay,
talking about
all
the
right.
brush
I
area.
didn't know that.
The
Okay.
brush area is just getting a camera
Yeah.
that's a direct line of sight to there. That's kind of a telephoto, so it keeps track of what's happening in the brush.
Well, the only thing is, not to put it on Brian, but I understand he does a good job, and there's all these other recycling facilities, as I've noted, so somehow maybe he could oversee what's going on.
Well,
I don't know,
You
John.
can't stick him with it.
I know, John. I'm not
I don't
keen
think that
on
should
it.
be even considered.
Okay, all right, well, I'm
I
glad,
have-
So what is it what is this person going to do? Are they going to educate the consumers? Are they gonna say, no, that doesn't belong here, throw that in bulky waste instead of in here?
Yep, yep.
Are they gonna say, you can't take that from the shelves? Are they gonna make people take stuff from the shelves? What are they doing?
they're going to educate what they can and can't bring. Well, Lori,
And when
you-
I volunteered there myself, so what I do on a Saturday morning, first I open up the doors, because right now the doors are usually closed. And the fact that you're going there and nothing's happening, that's the point. If someone were there, like when I'm there and people drive up, there's people I know, oh, Bob, come on in, check out what we have here. Do you have things in your basement that you need to get rid of? Gently used items that are still in good shape, like your children's toys or, you know, a lamp that you like or something. So you start a conversation and there's buzzing. Then people start walking over there and they start talking to you. And then all of a sudden they say, well, geez, next week I'm going to bring something. But if it's just closed and there's nothing happening there, it ain't going to get off the ground. And it's going to be dead like it is every time you go there because there's no one there, you know, really monitoring and engaging the public and trying to get them to, there's, on the wall, there's a list of what's allowed and what's not allowed. So, like, I was there one day and I was talking to these two women. I said, come on in and look in around. And they're like, ah. So this woman walks in and she goes, there's a tambourine. I really need this tambourine. And so she walked out with a tambourine because her kid plays instruments or something. So you can have those kind of interactions, but you can if it's just standing there with no one there.
I will say the town that I came from had a very, very, very vibrant
Yes.
swap shop, and it was like people really loved the swap shop, and it was a lot bigger. But the attendant would be responsible for opening it up, packing things out of the elements, because they would open into the elements and then they would pack it up underneath.
Oh, they'd let things
And
come outside of the
they
shed.
did, yeah. So they'd have things come outside and then go inside, and then they would also time you. So you were only allowed to be in there for up to like 15 minutes, and then you were like ushered out. So the attendant had that, but like to get to the point where it's this robust that we need an attendant, it is a little bit of a chicken and egg. Like it seems like a volunteer system would be really awesome right now to find a way to make that happen, but.
We're
To my knowledge, we haven't done any proactive advertising. Like, I haven't seen anything on our website, nobody's asked me to post anything.
No,
So maybe we could try that and create a flyer, looking for volunteers, post.
I have worked with Aurora here. We do have a flyer. It's like an Uncle Sam, you know, we need you. So yes, we haven't done, we did that to try to get seniors in the work-off program, but there's just a lot of issues around that program. You know, seniors aren't comfortable disclosing their income, so we just don't have a lot of traffic. But we do have an outreach flyer that we can.
Yeah, well, that'd be,
Well, we
I
can
don't
go
have an
there.
answer, but I do know I want to keep it up and going, and it's on its initial legs. I don't want it to fail. Compost started off very slowly. Compost is picking up. I would
Yeah.
imagine the swap shop will, as it has in our sister communities. They're very alive and vibrant, but
Can we
it's
use
new.
the summer to try to find some volunteers?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
I mean, this flyer's ready to go, but you're right, we haven't posted it at town hall or really anywhere.
I'm not sure what did you say you have?
Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's the way to really attract people. I
Well,
don't
you
think
can
that
look at it
speaks-
and comment on it.
Yeah, my opinion without seeing it is that's really not speaking to people, and maybe we just need a fresh flyer.
Well, I'll have you look at it and
And also like think about some teens that are looking for public service hours. I know some programs that they're in or whatever, I know.
that's hard to reach,
On a
especially
s-
now that school's getting out, you know,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
problem.
Lori, we got Dalton Days coming up Saturday. Do you
Oh,
have a
yeah.
table
Well,
set?
the Green Committee is
Yeah.
going to have a table, yeah.
Then
We'll
you
try
can
to
look
get
for
our
volunteers
flyer
for that
ready
swap
that.
shop
Have a
then,
big sign, yeah.
because there'll be a lot of people here.
That's a good point, yes, thank you.
So you want the doors opened up from what time to what time?
10 to 2 on Fridays and Saturdays,
That's 8 hours, right?
yes.
Total working, okay.
10 to 2, that's,
That-
we
I
have a
think
nice
you're in
flyer.
the peak hours, right there.
10 to
yeah.
2, yes. So that's what we're seeking. You've seen the flyer, right, Lori?
I don't think I have.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you, yeah.
Yes, please.
I mean, I could certainly have the doors bungeed open for those 4 hours.
Except Brian doesn't like them open because he says the dust blows in there, blah, 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 yeah.
Well, you guys go in and sweep it out every week.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is dump after all. Oops, I know you're not supposed to use that
Transfer
word.
station.
Transfer station.
Well, the other thought too is to speak with Bud and see just how much monies and maybe something can be squeezed out in terms of it's a paid position. Because,
If we have to pay $15 on 8
Yeah.
hours, that's a little over $100 a week.
and I just don't want us to tell the state it's open when indeed it's not, and then we lose that money, for which we want to put to good use. So, it's a conundrum.
I mean,
Well, let's
getting
try this
$100 a
voluntary.
week from Budget Department would be temporary.
Yeah, and it's only 3 months, into October and it's over. Once it's cold,
Yeah.
it's gonna shut down.
All right,
We'll see what happens. Okay. Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Lori.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, vacation roller payout request. Mr. Anderson.
Okay, so per the personnel policy, employees are allowed to roll over a certain amount of time, and beyond that, up to a certain amount of time, it's my choice to sign off on it. Above a certain amount, it automatically goes to the board. So these two, for Sandra and for Chief Strout, are both ones that are over the limit and therefore are the responsibility of the select board, not myself, to approve or disapprove.
How come one of them has 24 hours, the other one has a financial attachment?
Because people are allowed to do, per the personnel policy, which I'm not a huge fan of because it makes accounting hard, they have the option of requesting a payout or requesting the time being rolled over. So one of them's a rollover and one of them is a payout.
She does this every year.
So you will recommend these to the board? Yes, okay.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Sandra LaFrance, Assistant Treasurer, be granted a 24 hours carryover into fiscal '27.
Second.
Okay, motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Deanna Strout receive a payout for 120 hours of vacation for a total of $7,440.
Second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. All right, review and approve department transfer request.
Okay, and that is the bill for the total vacation payout for all employees. And this is something I think we should consider going forward. And it's not even because of the financial implications, although that's an issue. It's because I really want to encourage people to get out of here and actually take vacation, because I think it makes them better employees. So I think we need to think about that going forward. I was planning on putting out a little memo from me, just gently encouraging employees that they need to be taking their vacation time. But in a sense, this is what the transfer is required. Now, we do have some money in that account, but it's clearly not enough to handle. A lot of people did not use their vacation time this year.
Okay.
Eric, what should the motion state? Where is this money coming from? 16,000?
It's being transferred from account 145 to account 919.
145 to 919?
Correct.
The amount being transferred is only 5,100.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just gonna ask that amount to transfer from there to there.
5,100. Mr. Chairman, I move that $5,100 be transferred from account 145 to account number 919 to cover vacation payover request.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion, questions?
Just one, Eric, I know you're new and I'm new, but if you had to say as a percent, how much vacation time is being requested either through additional paybacks or rollovers?
This was the total.
Yeah, no, it's,
I should have read.
Probably if you summed up all the employees total, it represents 20 or 25% of the total.
Okay,
So it's not insignificant, but
okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments? All those in favor?
aye.
Okay.
sure.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board transfer, this is a franchise fee from Charter Communications. I move that the request to transfer the franchise fee of $25,873 recently received from Charter Communications to the Dalton Community Cable Association.
Second.
Okay, the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Just a this goes in the general fund, right?
It goes to the Dalton Cable
No, it goes-
Oh, it
Association.
goes to the
It's in the
association.
general fund now.
Yeah, it's in the general fund. It goes to the Dalton Cable
Oh,
for
okay.
their operation.
I understand, got it.
Should I abstain? I'm on the board of
Yeah,
directors
you
over
should.
there.
I just
Okay,
want to point out that this is the quarterly,
yeah, it's a franchise fee.
Okay,
it's on your cable bill.
Okay.
all right.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I abstain.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Acceptance of a,
We used to
S-
go. Wait a
okay.
minute. Go ahead, Bob.
acceptance of a sustained and resilient New England Libraries Grant for the Association for Rural and Small Libraries in the amount of $7,500 to Dalton Free Public Library.
So moved.
I need motions.
I thought that was a motion.
No.
Okay. I move that the board transfer a received sustainable and resilient New England Library grants from the Association for Rural and Small Libraries in the amount of $7,500.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I just want to say one thing. When the budget was passed, Janet put on such a great little video.
That
It was
good.
just so cool. Thank you, Janet, for everything you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, review and approve the warrant for June 29th special town meeting. That's my anniversary.
I don't know, Bob, I got some really technical questions about one article on here. I don't know if we should,
Now's the time to ask.
before, look, is Article 5 by citizens petition.
Petition.
Actually, it isn't. The petitioner was withdrawn from the annual town meeting because they hadn't complied at that time with having a hearing held by the planning board regarding their zoning change proposal. It was withdrawn. Subsequent to that, planning board had a hearing. And after the petitioner addressed the planning board extensively, and other people spoke against it, the planning board opted to make no recommendations on this petitioned article, which is kind of strange, but that's what happened. Now, it was suggested by the town manager, and at the time, it sounded like a good thing to do. Well, we'll just put this on the warrant, and then they won't have to bother doing this again. I don't think that's the appropriate thing to do, because it's a petition process. And by the select board putting this on their warrant, we are in a sense endorsing this proposal. And I certainly don't, and many people, citizens in the town, do not endorse this proposal, because it may be contrary to an existing zoning bylaw that instructs mobile homes to reside in a mobile home park, not in people's backyards. So in a sense, this is a could end up being very much a legal issue. And I don't think this board should be involved in that. I mean, goes beyond just doing something to help somebody out, so you don't have to petition it. A petitioner should follow the legal procedure for a petition, and they shouldn't be intervened by this board.
How about if we do this, John?
What?
Ask Eric to run it by council, and see if it's,
So I did run it by council prior to bringing that proposal to you originally. And it wasn't that the applicant collecting the petitions didn't do what she was legally responsible to do. It was that the town of Dalton did not do what we were legally obligated to do under Massachusetts law in a timely fashion. That's why we're in this position to begin with, because we didn't follow the law. The applicant followed the law.
Well, but still, a mistake was made by someone, obviously, but is it this board's objective to bring this forward, in a sense, endorsing this project, which many citizens don't.
I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't know that I see it as endorsement. I see it as a procedural that we didn't follow, so this is how we have to do it. My question actually is just around, if this goes on here and we vote it down, then it's voted down, and then we're done with it. If we don't include this, then we go back to square one and we make the petitioner go through the whole process and we follow through these. We're just gonna be back here again at a later date. So in my mind, if we let it go now, then we can vote it and people can vote their conscience. And
Well, and this is the whole point. A special town meeting is supposed to be, according to Massachusetts general law, for routine fiscal matters, particularly at this time of year, wrap-up type of things, and for emergencies, but not for something that's this controversial, where maybe 15 people will be there, and they could very well vote to overturn a zoning bylaw.
But
I don't think this is the appropriate action for this board to be taking, or
But John, we are following procedure and protocol. The attorney said we had to do what we had to do, which was to have this go to the planning board, have a public hearing. The public hearing was conducted. I do agree with you, the planning board, I wish they had taken a vote.
Yep.
It's their prerogative, they chose not to. We're not taking a vote. We're simply presenting this petition as we should, as a select board, to the public. It's a special town meeting. I understand it may not be well attended, but circumstances have dictated that that's where we are at this juncture. The applicant has put in much time and effort over the years, and I don't think the applicant should be denied her right in public meeting.
doesn't matter what she's done, it's a matter of procedure. And this is the type of article that deserves the public's full attention at a special town meeting. And it's unfortunate what's happened to her, but it should be brought before a special town meeting, not a special town meeting where there's very limited people. And it's a very important and gonna be a very controversial thing. It's one of these things, if this gets voted in, the people are gonna be outraged. It basically authorizes an overturn of the current mobile park regulation where you have to place mobile homes in a mobile park. Now you would be, according to this article, petition, now you can have one in your backyard as an ADU.
But John, they can have their day at town meeting. Those people that
Yeah,
feel.
it should be this annual town meeting, not a special town meeting.
So, John, just one clarification.
Yeah.
There is nothing, something that is a mobile home carries a HUD certification. There is nothing in this that will allow somebody with something with a HUD certification to be placed in somebody's rear or side yard. Now,
Well-
do I have issues with some of this? Yeah, but that's not one of them.
Well, I have serious issues with it, and I just want to point out, important issues should be an annual town meeting. But we've chosen to take this path. I wish I said this when you brought it up. But I didn't think of all this, and I didn't hear all the backlash for it. But it is what it is.
But to be honest, John, too, the planning board didn't raise any hackles or concerns.
But they ignored it.
Well,
Well,
they dealt with it as they saw fit, but
Yeah.
this is the next step in the process.
Yeah, maybe we should have done that.
Now, the way I see it, this is our job to put it in the voters' hands, and hopefully enough people will get out if they don't like it, and it's just got to get out there, and it's on there, and it's our job to put it out there.
And I'll just point out one thing too, and I know people are concerned, and I've said this, this is by special permit, so this is not by right, as ADUs are. This is special permit, so abutters will be notified accordingly, given whatever the proposal is for a tiny mobile home. So it's not de facto that this occurs by right. It's special permit. And personally, I don't think there's gonna be an explosion of these, but it's controlled, and that special permit makes it controlled via the planning board.
But again, this is an important
I understand, John.
Okay.
Yeah.
issue, and it should be before an annual town meeting, not a special town meeting. Right? My position.
Okay. Anything else on the warrant?
No, are there any other questions or concerns about the warrant other than the mobile tiny home bylaw portion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve.
I have one question.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Sure.
sorry, just with the figures, like Article 3, sum of money into line, do we have those figures? Is that part of that?
Yeah, so we'll have motions and explanations within the next couple of days. I promised I would get those ready prior to the Board of Finance meeting, because technically they have to approve motions and explanations.
When is their next meeting, do you know? Sorry. Never- it doesn't-
Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday.
This is gonna be at Wacona High School. Usually special town meetings are at Nessigas, but again, no big deal.
Okay. Mr.
We all
Boyle?
set?
Yep.
We do have the applicant in the audience, and I know she has some updated information. Do you want her to speak now or after you place the motion?
Yeah, do you want to speak?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Amy Turnbull, and I live at 60 John Street. I brought with me tonight 2 insubstantial modifications to the warrant, which I believe I can do. One of them is to make a correction of where the special permit is located. I worked with the BRPC on this, and it is a use kind of thing, so it needs to be with the bylaw. So that is what I did, and I can pass this out to you, the last 3 lines of this. So let me do that right now. So under C, intent, conditions, and for authorization, number 1, the last 3 lines is the special permit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I have is the definition itself, and I have 2 strike-throughs on that. One is the special permit language, and the other is to strike reference to the International Residential Code, IRC Appendix Q, because I thought it might be confusing.
Oh, you're fine. Thank you.
Be careful.
Thank you.
So, so as far as the strike-throughs on the actual definition, which I I don't know if you're gonna assign the original article numbers, 23 and 24, or will they be new?
I think they are new.
They're
article
new,
numbers.
okay.
I think right now we were looking at article number 5 and article number 6.
Okay, so the article that has the definition for a movable tiny house, the first strike through is, it says, "To any single or two-family dwelling shall be authorized by special permit from the special permit granting authority, provided it meets all of the following conditions for residential placement, requires site plan review," is stricken. It continues and goes down, and the next strike through is, "and the International Residential Code, IRC, Appendix Q," is stricken. So the first strike through is to correct that placement of where the special permit should be. And the second strike through is a means of letting the inspection of a tiny house remain with ANSI or NAFPA certification, either by a manufacturer or a third-party inspector. I sent Brian Duvall an agency, one inspector called NOAH, and they use a combination of ANSI and state code as well, that may or may not, and probably does include Appendix Q. So I didn't want to dirty the waters, so that is the reason for that strike through.
Can you explain the strike through for the requires a site plan review?
So the special permit strike through, it's just in the wrong place. It's a definition. So I did a lot of research on this, and definitions are, according to Mass General Law, are not supposed to contain a use. So in this case, a special permit is considered a use, so it belongs with the bylaw.
But, so with the strike through that requires site plan review, does site plan review live somewhere else then, that would, someone
Site plan
else would get
review-
site plan review?
My understanding of site plan review is that would be something that belongs with the special permit.
You're right, okay.
It allows Brian to come in and say, you need a sloped roof, a 10-12, you need an R factor of R19 in the floor or ceiling or whatever. See, that is what that does, as far as I know.
And you're saying that then would live with the ANSI or NAFPA?
Yes.
Rather
So
than-
it's stricken completely, the site plan review,
Yeah,
within the definition.
yeah.
But doesn't that remove site plan review for all accessory dwelling units?
No. So let me then go to the accessory dwelling unit
May I-
bylaw, where it says definitions.
I don't think the board is gonna approve this modification tonight.
Yeah, I have,
There's no way any of us have a chance to read this thoroughly enough to agree with that.
can I ask, Amy, there was a planning board meeting several weeks ago. What was the impetus to change the language? And could this be considered contrary to the public meeting?
They were okay with leaving the special permit the way it is, so if you guys want to just do that.
Well, my concern is, there's a change here, and I'm curious now if our attorney is going to say, with these changes you've proposed, does that circumvent the public meeting with the planning board? Which I'm looking at is where we're at here, but
I don't
Tony, I
see
agree
why that
completely.
planning board meeting has any
What we're
bearing
doing
on what
here
I'm
is-
doing now, because I can certainly go to the meeting at the end of the month and stand up and ask for it to be modified through a motion.
And I think that is appropriate.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
I
it
think-
should be, yeah.
What you're
But I was-
asking us to do is the town manager and the board so graciously entertained putting a petition article on the board, as I objected to before, but I'm willing to let it go. But I don't think it's this board's purview or wish to alter or amend a special permit article right now.
Okay, well, according to my research, it was suggested, and I used the MGLA or whatever it is, the Massachusetts General Law's guidance, okay, and the EOHLC, and they suggested that I bring a copy to you, so I have done my due diligence. Whether you choose to use it or not, that's fine. I can certainly speak at the
We're doing this
select
as a
board meeting.
favor to yourself.
No, this is not a favor to me.
Yes, it is.
This is a citizen's right,
Yes.
and I have not erred. The
Okay.
planning board erred.
Right, somebody else here, but this has to be amended at a town meeting. If it's going to a special town meeting, that's where it's gonna have to be
Well,
amended.
it's a change, so if, you know, you either think it's a change or you don't, which I respect that.
But Amy, will you bring this to the next planning board meeting?
No, because it's gonna go to a vote on the 29th.
So there's no planning board meeting between now and then? Or you're not on that agenda?
I don't know how that would help my cause.
Okay, okay.
Well,
You're gonna make this motion on the floor, obviously.
I also talked to the clerk here in town, and she said that's a very difficult thing to do in the air. So I was hopeful that you would do it, would look at it here. But I think we're consistent in our inconsistencies here in Dalton.
basically, the citizens, yourself, and the citizens that signed your petition are bringing forward this article to the special town meeting. You have to present it, and if you want to amend it, then again, that's up to you. And then it would have to pass by the special town meeting.
You're telling me something I already know. Thank you,
Okay.
John.
Yeah, we can't do it.
We can't do it.
Okay. Well, it was worth coming to ask, and I definitely suggested protocol. I mean, I did what was suggested by protocol, which is to bring it to you in writing. So,
I appreciate that.
yeah, so there's
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the warrant for the special town meeting on the 29th as presented.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, discussion of July and August meeting schedule. The proposed meeting dates, July 13th, 2026, and August 17th, 2026.
Yeah, that's what we usually do. So I just,
You gonna make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that during the months of July and August, due to the summertime, it's an opportunity for people to take their vacations and stop listening to us for at least 1 or 2 weeks a year. I propose that the meeting dates be set at the one in July, on July 13th, 2026, and the second one on August 17th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? The only thing I'd like to say, if there's an emergency, we'll throw one in there,
Take
okay?
any time.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Number 16, RFP for land acquisition. Mr. Anderson has done a wonderful job on this.
Okay, so one, I apologize for how long it's taken to get us the RFP to this stage, but we have received 3 proposals. So, and I also put in your packet some options for evaluating the RFP. And they basically are in 3 categories. Category 1, send it back to the original Public Safety Facility Advisory Committee, which has never been formally disbanded. Number 2, empanel a new group to evaluate it, and I gave you a list of who I would suggest would be appropriate to be on it. Or pick a different panel to do it. Either one is fine. I think in this case, it's probably smarter not to do it as an ad hoc committee, but for you to actually appoint the committee. If you choose not to and you ask me to, I would make it an ad hoc committee, but I think it's got a little more gravitas if it comes directly from the select board. 3, send the RFPs directly to the architect, Brian Humes, and ask him, so I believe he's already evaluated 2 of the 3 properties. The third would need a little more workup before it was ready to go to him. And the 4th thing is that if we are going to seriously consider the property on Housatonic Street, I think we should have Foresight Engineering do 2 things. 1, flag the wetlands areas on the site and come back with a buildable map area. So I've gotten a cost estimate for it. It's around $3,000, which is well within our engineering budget, either our current budget or next year's budget. So if that's something that you want to pursue, and I would suggest that's something we should pursue, then the first step would be to have Foresight do their due diligence on the properties.
Okay, I am extremely attracted to number 4 here in the land on Housatonic Street, just because of the cost. And number 1, it's big enough to do both buildings if we so decide down the road. We're one town. We need to act as one town. I mean, it could save the taxpayers a ton of money doing it this way. It's like, buying the land is over $850,000 cheaper doing it this way. I think we should go with number 4. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, we're one town. We need to act like one town.
Yeah, Bob, I support you in that. I think that we should move forward with investigating all the parts in that particular piece. And then kind of to the numbers 1 and 2, my preference would be to go ahead and appoint a committee. I feel like the original Facility Advisory Committee was meant for a needs assessment. It was not necessarily meant to see it through the construction of a facility. It was like a needs assessment. So I think we should do an appointment. We should definitely have members of that committee join, but open that up to what Eric suggested.
Eric's already had one, yeah, the one that Eric suggested. Yes,
Yeah.
I support that also.
Which one?
Number 2, to impanel a new group to do the evaluations.
I have to disagree with that. I think we should continue with the same group that's had this for a month and a half, a year and a half. And we should also keep the same group, as the chairman suggested that they stay on and keep working on it, and the November 10th, I think it was the 10th meeting, when they were ready to resign. They know the ins and outs. This is nothing new, these 3 pieces of parcel. This has been kicking around for years. Now, there may be some merit in the one down on Housatonic Street. They can certainly look into that.
Well,
I'm also in favor of, there's 4 people on the committee, is appoint someone, not an engineer, to fill the 5th spot.
I think this group needs to be understanding that if we're going to be working with the fire department, we need to have somebody from their prudential committee, someone from the water commission, because we got to see if they're going to be interested in doing this.
I got the idea of potentially, we'd have to ask them, but.
Yeah, that's why our committee has all these members on it to discuss this.
If we appointed somebody, I don't like to use names, but Dan Filio, not only is he on the Prudential Committee, right?
Yes,
Yeah, he has experience in the police department too.
yes.
I think he'd be an ideal candidate for the 5th spot in our committee.
Yeah, but I'm saying this piece of property, if we're going to look at a combined building, number 1, we got to make sure the fire department wants this.
Well, yeah,
We got to
that
get
was
their
dead in the
input.
water.
You just can't just have that committee, John, go say, hey, we're going to put a double building here without their permission. We got to sit down and talk with them about it. We need
They
to
made it
meet,
pretty
we all
clear
need to
that-
meet in the middle here on this, John.
Well, yeah.
Can I just add,
Yeah.
for the record, can we list the 3 properties and the prices? Could you do that for us, Eric? So the public is aware, we know the
Oh,
properties, we
sure.
know the prices, but the public is not.
Sure. You don't have the overall sheet, do you?
I don't have the bid register now.
Okay, so give me a few seconds and I'll go through them. So the first piece of property is located on West Housatonic Street. It is parcel and map 115, lot 3. That parcel has a total cost of $69,700. Number 2 is a combination parcel of 726 and 730 Main Street plus 70 Myrtle Street, which has majority frontage on Main Street. And that has a total price of $975,000 even. And the third piece is 197 Main Street. And 197 Main Street has a total price of $900,000, although they're willing to accept a portion down and to mortgage it to the town. So those are the 3 parcels that are available.
So just to be clear, the latter 2 parcels were reviewed by the Public Safety Facility Committee and were reviewed by Brian Hume. So we have good information on those 2.
Correct.
The newer parcel is submitted by Crane and Company. That's a brand-new parcel, subject to, as you're recommending, foresight review in terms of, I would imagine, how much is wetland, how much is buildable, costs may be associated with Brian Hume's input. And to be honest, well, I'm always honest, I would suggest, as you have, that we have a new committee, but the committee, as you've described, would have 2 members from the public safety facility, since they are knowledgeable, they'll carry forward. And I do agree, we need the fire district involved, we need the police chief involved, and we need a select board member involved to then evaluate. And hopefully the plan would be, once we have that information, we'd have a listening session with the public in terms of, well, here are the 3 parcels, here's information, here's the parcel that, we're all much aware of in terms of this parcel here, and hear what the public has to say, and then move forward.
Because of a death of silence here, are we no longer considering the town-owned property?
No, John, I'm not.
He
I
just said he was.
Oh, no,
We
John,
were.
I-
This is
these-
just
we're-
new.
This is one hill, and the other hill will involve this site too, and hopefully the
Well, we
public will
have
weigh
3
in.
sites here, actually.
Well, no, the three,
Well-
the 3 recommendations here plus this site here, this public parcel. So, but we need information on the newest site, which we have no information on at all. The Crane, it's called the Crane proposal. Crane and Company. I mean,
Yeah, as far as the wetlands go, there's possibility if we have to take part, it can always be replicated someplace else, so don't let that be a hang-up.
Yeah, except it might cost $1 million, Bob.
That don't cost $1 million.
That's the rumor, right?
That's not true.
that's what we have to determine, John. Yeah. So, should we do this now or at the next meeting to consider or vote on it?
I at least want to go with number 4. Let's see
yeah.
what we're up to.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So at this point, you want to vote and give me a mandate to hire Foresight right now and get that report back as fast as we can for your further
That
consideration.
way we know if it's usable, then we can go from there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need a motion to that effect?
Yes, we do.
John?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize the town manager to hire
Foresight.
Foresight Engineering to determine any mitigating factors regarding the West Housatonic Street Crane-owned property as a prospective site for a possible police station and a possible police station, fire station complex.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just one last thing, once we get that, then the next step would be to look at Brian Hume's, given that information. Okay.
But I do think we do need to still go back to 1 or 2, because when we do get that information back, we should have a committee
Yep.
to review that.
Yep.
So, John, I think the kind of middle ground here would be to go ahead and include members of the Public Safety Facility Advisory Committee that is in existence, but just then expand to include some additional people in that with a committee that we are appointing rather than just having an ad hoc.
Yeah.
So that we'd
I
include
can do
those
that.
guys.
Existing,
Yes.
maybe some of them may want to step down.
Right,
The
so we-
chairman actually resigned at one time.
Right, so we
But he
could
came back.
include whoever, well, at least 2 people from that committee, we could include in here so that they are part of that, along with these additional folks.
Okay. What would your goal be for a total, 6 or 7?
No, 5, as.
Five?
5.
So one more member.
So 2 members of the old public safety facility.
Okay.
So 2 of them, the fire chief, the police chief,
No, the police chief is not a member of this committee. He shouldn't be a member of this committee, or the fire chief. Be a member of the committee.
There should be somebody from the Water Commission, the Prudential Committee, a Select Board member, and whoever
Prudential,
else Eric
water,
had on
fire,
there.
police.
A level-headed civilian.
Why wouldn't you want to involve the police chief, John? Only,
I mean,
Because-
she's made her case for what she wants.
you know,
Okay? And so far, it hasn't been effectively placed in action, so to speak. And she was not a member before, so why should she be a member now?
Okay, we can figure that out later on down the road.
Well, I
Okay.
know, we should figure it out right now, I agree
Now,
with you.
let's-
Retain 2 of the members, add 2 members, that's 4, and add 3 members.
Let's have Eric come back with a recommendation who he wants for that committee.
Well, Bob, that's what we're here for.
Well,
Who-
we get to approve it.
Well, wait a minute. We have one member to Prudential Committee from the fire district.
Yep.
1, that's it.
What?
Yep.
That's all they
Okay.
can, although they have
That's-
they have
That's 3. Who are the other 2 people?
see, the concern I have, John, is that the chief and Gabby, Director of Communication, have always been part of this process in terms of, you know, the pros and the cons. To have the fire chief there, or to have the fire department represented there, you have, I would think you'd want to have the police department represented there in some manner or form. I mean, if there was a police oversight committee, I'd look at that, but I don't know who else better than the chief, because she's been part of this process from day one.
Okay, Tony, I can
No,
agree with that.
You know, and it's 5, it's manageable, and so it's one voice amongst 5.
Well, let's not hold it to a certain number till we actually
Okay.
see who we need. We might have to go to 7.
Okay, Bob, yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah,
that
I
too.
was thinking the same thing. If we have 2 members from the public safety, the former committee,
Yeah.
we might end up having to go to
Let's try with
7.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if we'd want to determine who on the select board would want to be part of that, if there's a member of
I
that.
would volunteer to do that.
Good,
Okay.
good, Bob,
That's-
you're chair,
yeah.
and that's important.
Can you repeat that?
Huh?
You said you
So for
volunteered?
the record,
Okay,
I
good.
talked to both Craig and Don Davis, and both of them would be happy to serve on a new committee if we so chose.
I have an issue, as I've said to you, Eric, because, Craig's done good work, but Craig is exiting Dalton at some point. He's looking-
Eventually.
And I'd prefer, Don Davis certainly as vice chair, and he's been there since day one, but I'd prefer one of the other members, and I know Ryan, and I know Dave is the other, but I think Ryan would be more than willing to step up, and he's worked closely with Don, and he's a big player in terms of writing the report. So kudos to Craig, but I'd really want someone, this hill isn't gonna be climbed in a year. And he's exiting the community. So Don is one, and I'd recommend
Who's the
Ryan.
other member on there?
Ryan Flanders.
And
Ryan
Dave
Flanders.
Martindale.
Davis?
Martindale.
Oh,
There were
Dave
4.
Martindale?
Yes. But I know Ryan Flanders is willing to step into the breach.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
Okay, so are you appointing a committee, or are we just kind of throwing out names at the moment and gonna appoint them
Why don't
later?
we vote to establish a 5-member committee? incorporating
We're going to have 7 if we incorporate the other 2
one of the two. All right.
from the former building committee.
I don't know.
No,
don't-
I read 5, Bob.
I read 5.
Did you guys get the water? We've got the prudential and the water?
No.
You need a water commissioner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I've got the prudential, someone from prudential and someone from water. So I think that's one of the ones that everyone else is missing.
Yeah.
And then
One of
2
them's
public
enough,
safety, so
one
prudential,
representative
water,
for the
2
fire
public
district.
safety.
Yeah, it says,
Police and select board.
It could be either one.
It
Either
said-
a commissioner, or let them pick it,
Yeah.
or somebody from the prudential committee.
Whatever. That makes-
Well-
One representative from the fire district.
yeah,
2 representatives from the old, we're up to 3.
right,
And then
Yeah.
the fire chief and the police chief.
and 5, that makes 5.
Well, no, just the police chief and then a select board.
Yeah, Let me read it. Eric's recommendation, impanel a new group to evaluate it. If so, I would suggest that it could be comprised of 1 select board member, the police chief, the fire chief, or chair of the water district, and 2 members of the Old Public Safety Facility Advisory Committee. So I don't know if you meant to say, and the chair of the water district?
Well, what I'm gonna suggest is you ask the chair of the water district who is most appropriate to represent their, because what I didn't want to do is tell them who their representative was gonna be. I want them to
Yeah.
tell us who their
So
representative
that's
is gonna
5.
be.
That's the point, 5.
One representative from the fire district
Right.
will be determined by the board of commissioners.
I'm agreeable.
Okay.
So should we make a
Wait a
motion?
minute.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, again, 5, so 2 former members, that's 3. A select board member, and the police chief. Okay? I'm good about that.
All right,
Okay?
okay. Okay,
Yeah, so let's make a motion.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Ginny.
Yeah.
Mr.
gonna
Chairman,
appoint.
I move that we establish a new revised committee to address the police station siting and development, and possibly include in the site room for potential fire district expansion of their premises. And the committee be made up of 5 members, consisting of 2 former members of the Public Service Committee, a selectman, a member of the Water District, chosen by the Water Commissioners, and, who's the 5th one?
Police chief.
And the police chief. Got it.
40,
Thank you.
John. Second.
Okay,
I think we accomplished something. I hate to go home without accomplishing it.
okay. A motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
good like that.
All right.
All right, where are we now?
Number 17, consideration for National Fitness Program.
All right, so I'm bringing this to you because it's one of those things that Maya, our insurance company, is on board with installing these in their member towns. They're basically just outdoor fitness opportunities. There's a whole bunch of grants. We would need to string a whole bunch of grants through to pay for it. Before we even consider this, I did ask the Open Space and Rec Commission. They're interested in looking at this. I wanted to get your feedback on this before I chat with them to see whether this is something we're even willing to consider. We certainly have the area for it. My concern with these is that I've seen these installed twice, not this particular one, but a similar one, and I have rarely to ever see anybody actually use it. So, that's my personal concern. Is it something, yeah, it's cool, but is it actually gonna be, and theoretically, we can grant fund the majority of the cost of it, but it's still, a couple $100,000 by the time you go all the way through and put one of these things in. They're certainly not inexpensive. So is this something, that the board wants to consider.
I know, I believe, and maybe John, Bob will correct me, but around the senior center, didn't they have
Yeah.
something like that
It is.
station?
Still right
It's
there, yeah.
exactly,
They got
yeah,
them
they're
right
still
there.
out there, and they
They got a
get
grant for them.
used by neighbor kids sometimes, as, you know, like fun places to hang out, but there's not a lot of use.
Seniors don't use it.
I mean, they might during some of their programming,
Yeah.
but like, there is no one out here.
I have yet to see anybody use this.
I use
We
that,
installed
you
something
need to call
similar
911. Trust
in
me.
the last town.
Me too, I was within it, installed it.
I'd be hung up on the
Yeah,
first
I mean,
floor.
looking through this, like, it looks, you know, interesting, but I feel like there's a lot of competing priorities that we've already started trying to talk through with our capital planning committee, to just throw one more thing because it's opportunistic. I just seems like this was something we'd want to kind of put into a plan for, like, what is the gap? Like, are we missing this in our community? And I don't feel like we've done any of that work.
Something
And
CRA should
I just don't.
consider.
Yep.
I don't know, I'm not interested in this moment.
I think something, maybe talk to CRA or something, let them,
Yeah. the
Okay.
Patrick and CRA.
I'm not looking for more things to do, so, just so that you know.
I don't know why. Okay, review and discuss revised town policies.
Okay, so I gave you the policies back this month in your pocket, the same ones you got last month, the same ones you saw about 3 months ago before we sent them to the town's attorney for review. The only difference with this one is this is final draft, so all the corrections made by the town's attorney are accepted. So I guess I'm looking for feedback on the board as to how you want to proceed with these. Do you want to, are there corrections you want to make? Do you want me to just roll all these directly into the overall personnel policies so you see that document back in whole in, you know, a month? Or what, where do you want me to go from here with
This
these?
won't require any type of town meeting action.
These do not,
Somebody,
these
the
are just
board-
policies.
Whatever the board decides, you're gonna carry it out.
Correct.
Okay.
I just soon have you roll it all together
Yeah.
and bring it back to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't see any,
I don't see
any
anything
serious
that's,
flaws or objections.
okay.
Objections.
And my only concern earlier was truth, in terms of truth, but I don't think it can be addressed any better than what our attorney has provided, so we have to go with what we have.
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Okay, so this will get wrapped into the overall personnel policies, and you'll be given that final draft to review.
I'm gonna take off, so can you handle from here on?
Definitely.
And then for the announcements, you gotta add that with that, okay?
Okay, add that to the
Announcements, yeah.
Good.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to leave because I gotta get home.
Understood?
Okay, we already did that. We did 18. We're up to general correspondence, right?
Department head.
monthly.
Oh, yeah, right here, in my hand.
I was gonna hand these out to the board later, but since you're going, I'll give you a copy.
Okay, thank you.
Eric, one quick question about, I don't want to have to thumb through the whole thing. Is the police now listing the number of citations they hand out for junk car violations?
Well, you had the whole list of, it's not on the department head's report, but only because I put in the whole list
Okay.
in the packet. So you have all of that.
Bob, you'll be digging this.
All right, thanks, John.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I'm good, John.
Okay, I guess we definitely approve and find this very informative, what you've instituted, monthly Department of Statistics and reports And, nobody seems to have any questions about it, except mine about the junk car violations. 44, huh? That
Yep.
was- Wow.
Yep, they went out and hit the whole town up pretty carefully.
There you go.
I will just say I really especially appreciate the library providing attendance numbers as we're thinking about cultural council activities and seeing the usage there. It's really nice to see.
Do you have any, kickback from the department head saying, why do we have to do this? Do we have to do it every month? Or do they enjoy promoting and bringing forward the information that the select board actually?
Well, they're not complaining about it. So I think they're taking it fairly well. And I think they're happy to kind of justify what their departments are doing. And so I think they're actually happy to be supplying it. So overall, I think that's pretty good. And it gives, everybody a snapshot of what's happening and why.
Okay, let's then turn our eye to general correspondence. Oh, go ahead.
Vice Chairman, are these department head reports available to the public on the website or anything? Do you know?
The packets get posted when the minutes are approved. So whenever the minutes from this meeting end up on the select board agenda for approval, that's when the packet gets added to my town government.
Yeah. Last thing too, it should also be noted that we have the most updated budget items too, in terms of what's been appropriated, what's been expended, over budget, under budget.
General correspondence, what do we have here, Rick?
So, the Mass DOT has notified us that they are going to be doing some pavement preservation on Route 9. I did put in a question about exactly where and when, and I haven't really gotten any kind of answer back yet.
Speaking of DOT, any updates on they're working down there every day, and today they had a giant crane on the
So,
bridge on Housatonic Street, East Housatonic Street.
so today they poured the bridge deck.
Is that right?
So that's really good news, because
Yeah.
basically, as long as it meets in about 7 days, usually when you pour significant concrete, you take essentially test cylinders. So they took 9 test cylinders in this case, so they have duplicates. And after about 7 days, they'll break one of them and see what the compressive strength is. And based on the 7-day mark, you can pretty much predict when the bridge will meet enough strength characteristics to be able to take heavy loads. So presuming that date will be about 14 days from now, they are prepared to pave as soon as they have a break that demonstrates that they're above the minimum compression strength for the concrete. So talked to the engineer today, he's still optimistic that they can reopen the bridge by the 4th of July, but don't hold them to it, because all those, are
Eric, I don't know
somewhat.
how you did this. I've seen bridge jobs go on for years.
Don't,
You just called the DOT.
You just jinxed him.
yeah, don't jinx me, but you're right. All I did was ask him, I sent him a really nice letter and said, hey, we're gonna be struggling to fix this, can you help us out? And said it really nicely, and, they had some excess funds, and they pushed it through.
Flabbergasted. This is not warp speed, this is hypersonic speed. This job was done in less than 90 days. Yeah.
It's
The
unusual.
residents in East Housatonic Street really appreciate it.
Well,
And actually, we appreciate the quietness. No truck traffic for the last.
yeah. I mean, that is one nice thing about living on a closed road.
Yeah.
Is for a period of time, you get a lot of, quiet.
All right, hey, tremendous work.
Thank you.
I thought when we undertook this, it was, it might be, 5, 6 years.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Outstanding, okay. Next letter is from the Yes, who is
Clean-
this letter from?
We're
This is
20
the Lipton Energy, they're putting in the shop where the old gas station used to be.
Oh, Lipton?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, this is regard to that?
yeah, I believe
Lipton
it's their,
Energy, yes.
yeah, their abatement.
I gotta say, pretty much every old gas station, when you dig, you end up doing some abatement for hydrocarbon
Yep.
release. So I don't see this as anything particularly unusual or to be concerned about,
Okay.
just that it is filed.
And letters from the DEP. Wastewater, wastewater unit. Just standard stuff. Okay. Tony, you got a report for us?
I do, thanks. I was going to ask Bob's permission, but I'd like to read the letter from the DEP, which we
Yeah, I
signed
think
off
it's
on
important.
for the public. Last we met, we all agreed and signed off on a letter to the DEP in regards to Berkshire Concrete. That letter was addressed to the Department of Environmental Protection, and here is their response dated May 29th. Regarding Berkshire Concrete Corporation Bridle Road application number 25-AQ01P-006-APP. Dear Chair Bishop, Mass DEP is in receipt of the Town of Dalton's May 19th, 2026 letter regarding Berkshire Concrete Corporation's Bridle Road operations and Mass DEP application 25-etc. Mass DEP understands the town's continuing concerns regarding dust, site conditions, and local permitting compliance. As the Mass DEP has explained in prior correspondence, Mass DEP's jurisdiction in this matter is limited. Mass DEP may regulate certain equipment or process operations at the site, including through an air pollution control limited plan approval where applicable. A limited plan approval is not a mining, quarrying, excavation, zoning, reclamation, or land use approval, and it does not authorize or prohibit the extraction or recovery of sand and gravel material. Those matters remain within the town's local permitting and enforcement authority. Mass DEP also wishes to clarify that the department does not hold public hearings on limited plan approval applications. Mass DEP will review application, as I've stated, 25- under the applicable air pollution control regulations and will limit its review to matters within Mass DEP's air pollution control authority, including emissions from regulated equipment and appropriate air pollution control requirements for that equipment. If Mass DEP determines that Berkshire Concrete has demonstrated use of best available control technology and has satisfied all applicable requirements for the regulated equipment, Mass DEP will issue the approval. The town's letter asked DEP to enforce local requests and orders by issuing a cease and desist order, halting all operations at the site until Berkshire Concrete's Mass DEP air application is approved, a dust mitigation plan is approved by the Board of Health, and a reclamation plan is submitted to the town zoning enforcement officer. Mass DEP cannot use a limited plan approval application as a mechanism to enforce local zoning, Board of Health, special permit, reclamation, or land use requirements. Those matters are within the town's authority and should continue to be addressed through the town's local permitting, enforcement, and legal processes. Mass DEP understands that the town has exercised its local authority with respect to Berkshire Concrete, including through its Board of Health and zoning enforcement processes, and that related disputes between the town and Berkshire Concrete are in litigation. In light of that posture, Mass DEP cannot step into the role of the town's local permitting or enforcement boards, nor can Mass DEP use its air permitting authority to resolve or influence disputes concerning local permits, site restoration, nuisance conditions, zoning compliance, or the scope of quarry operations. The town's letter also references air sensor data and episodic PM 2.5 spikes. Based on the information provided to date, the town of Dalton does not appear to have sufficient evidence to conclude that the reported PM 2.5 spikes are attributable to Berkshire Concrete's quarry operations or to equipment subject to Mass DEP air permitting authority. Mass DEP is available to provide technical assistance to the town regarding review of its air sensor data. However, such assistance would not alter the jurisdictional limits described above. Mass DEP's prior air monitoring did not identify PM 2.5 air quality issue attributable to the quarry operations. As stated in Mass DEP's March 28, 2025 correspondence, The information acquired by Mass DEP supported characterization of the material of the matter as a nuisance dust concern from blowing sand rather than a demonstrated ambient PM 2.5 air quality issue. Mass DEP continues to recognize the town's authority to address nuisance dust conditions through local permit condition and the Board of Health's enforcement mechanisms. Based on the information currently before the department, Mass DEP does not have a basis to issue a cease and desist order requested in the town's May 19th letter. The town should continue to address local permitting, enforcement, zoning, reclamation, and nuisance matters through the municipal authorities and legal remedies available to it. Sincerely, Eva V. Tor, Deputy Regional Director, Bureau of Air and Waste. Just for the record, this letter referencing was also sent by the Clean Air Committee and the Board of Health. The Planning Board chose not to do it, and hopefully they will receive information. It's not a surprising response. However, on the good side, they will assist us in terms of air monitoring. So I will take this to the Clean Air Committee, and we will pursue that in terms of having DEP assist us with air monitoring, much like we're doing now. In terms of air monitoring, Air Partners just today sent us a preliminary draft for its midterm report, which will be shared with the Clean Air Committee. Our committee will have input. It's a 20-page report. That too will be part of our litigation going forward, and that just came in today, and I haven't shared it accordingly till I came to this committee first. So, not a surprise. I think this letter really says, in some respects, some good news that while there may be correlation with the air quality, it's not causation, and we knew that. Berkshire Environmental said at least 3 years of data is required, but we're on our way to collecting that data. Berkshire Regional Planning, we're still working on 2 additional air monitors. We're finding it difficult. It appears that we have to have an electrical source, but we're working on that. The 24th is our next meeting. We will have a citizen there in terms of complaints regarding Greenwich Park, issues in that area. Our committee will start to collect data in terms of litigation, and our town website does list the 2 sites where air monitoring data can be viewed. So that's where we're at, and as I said, we will meet the 24th, and I think that will prove to be an important meeting in terms of where we go in this process, given the litigation in question. So that's pretty much it, John.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep.
And that's 6/24, that's a Thursday, right?
Thursday at 4.
At
Yep.
4 o'clock.
And that's at Callahan Room, Town Hall.
That's, I'm certain that's when we make BRT meetings. Well, I'll make sure that your name goes to them.
Okay.
And there's this lady named Caitlin or something, or I forget her name. She runs everything down there. Okay, thank you, Tony.
Yep.
What else we got there? Okay, town manager update. All right.
All righty, so first start with a little bit of bad news. The assistant town clerk has submitted her resignation, as I informed the board last week, so we are looking to replace that position as soon as possible. So we did put out a revised job advertisement that was a little more applicant-friendly than the previous one. So far, we've received about 20 applications, and we may be starting interviews as soon as Thursday. Still unclear exactly when we're going to be able to go. My suggestion to the town clerk was that the interview panel, if they occur while I'm here, be the town clerk, a town clerk of an adjacent town, and myself. In my absence, I would probably suggest putting April on the committee, since she is the HR director for the town. So we would like to get that process going as soon as possible. But understanding that a lot of people have limitations on when they can take, you know, for instance, if I left, you know, there's an expectation that I would give you plenty of notice. So we're probably not going to get somebody in time to not have an overlap. And the town clerk and myself are both concerned that we're coming up on a pretty busy season with the elections to be onboarding somebody. So my suggestion, well, no, let me say the town clerk's suggestion, which I wholeheartedly agree with, is to bring back one of the older town clerks for a short duration, probably in the 10-week variety, say 15 hours a week, to help in the training of the new town clerk and to provide enough staffing. Because the fact of the matter is, if Heather's training somebody, she's not doing the work she needs to be doing. And I think at this point where we would struggle with that office if we didn't. So unless you tell me not to, what I'm going to suggest is that we hire one of the previous assistant town clerks about 15 hours a week for, say, 2.5 months to help manage the transition and provide a little relief to that office.
I don't think there's too many ex-town clerks around.
I'm thinking of one.
No, there's one though.
I know there's one, Barbara Cerner.
Well, plus Patty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Patty will agree to do it on a short-term basis. She doesn't want the job, but she's willing to help out.
So that doesn't delay the posting or the hiring, you would just get the extra person?
I mean, the goal is to get the extra person on somewhere around July 1 and get the new person in as soon as we possibly can. So that's kind of how I'm proceeding with that, unless you guys have any other suggestions on how you want to proceed.
Sounds great.
Okay, as you all know, the planning board held the required public hearing for mobile tiny houses, and that got brought back to you on this agenda. So the RFP for the public safety complex is back. That's obviously quite interesting. So I'm also hard at work on the policies and procedures for all things financial. It looks like we're targeting having basically about 15 total policies. So we're working through them. I had meant to provide a list of what the policies will be to you. I will mail that to you because I didn't bring my copies with me, so I apologize for that.
And that's something you're working with the finance committee on?
Yeah, so that's me, the finance committee. Some of them are gonna take the treasurer collector, some will be April's responsibility. So they're kind of two flavors. One, they're the overarching policies, which is kind of the guardrails for how as a town we operate financially. And then the secondary set of policies are the internal control policies, how we act internally to move money around, etc. What our policies for achieving the objectives. So those are both underway. So the second thing, and I'll give it out in just a little bit, I do have some homework for the select board for the next meeting. As you know, we talked about the next meeting being primarily about a planning meeting, discussing what our overall priorities are and what you as a board want me to be working on. So I have a list which is not completely comprehensive, but it basically lists all the things that are going on now. And what I really need feedback back from the board is what are your number one priorities? What can wait? Because there's more things than I can address in any kind of reasonable time frame all at once. So this stuff's gonna have to be staggered, and I wanna stagger it based on what you as a board want, not what I decide the priorities are. So I'll give that out in a little bit. So we did submit 2 grants last week. One was for reclaiming and repaving of Grange Hall Road to take place after we redo the culvert. That's basically, but asked for the full amount available, which is about $1 million, which would actually cover just about the entire cost of doing that road if based off of last year's numbers. Now, we don't know what the asphalt escalation is going to be because asphalt's a petroleum product. But if we did have to put money into it, it wouldn't be a lot. it would be, the majority of that would be paid for out of the grant, and we'd be able to fund the rest out of Chapter 90 money. So that's a positive. The second one was for a grant for sidewalk improvements. And we're looking at kind of the downtown-ish area. So if you would say where Craneville Elementary School is on one side to High Street, to Main Street, to a little past the senior center, and focus on that area initially. That grant is for $500,000, because again, that's the max we can ask for. Don't know whether we can get it, but you know, when we had our sidewalks evaluated by Street Scan, the ratings throughout that next on a scale of 1 to 100, with 100 being high, the best one we had was a 91, and the worst one was a 2, which is actually pretty funny that it even goes down that low. But it's not funny. But so the goal will be to address that. Yanko worked very hard on that grant. We spent a lot of time on getting the data for that for a good grant submission. So I'm certainly hopeful for both of those. And I'm also having Yanko work on updating the Complete Streets plan with the intention of bringing that back to the Traffic Commission for approval of a revised or a modified Complete Streets plan. In part because our existing plan is now coming up on about 10 years old. So normally it would need to be redone anyway. And secondly, I want the ability to apply for Complete Streets money in the next grant round, which starts next January. So now on to the town accountant. So we've been working very well with the consulting accountant. So I think that's going very successfully. Just so we all know, you know, at one point our backlog was something like 19 months. It wasn't quite 2 years, but our current backlog is down around 3 months. So we've gotten, you know, well more than a year of the reconciliation done, 1 year completely closed out, and we're getting pretty close to current, because if it's June now, the best you would have done at this point probably would be reconcile through April. So we're getting pretty close to being on time. So that's wonderful. I'd also like to publicly thank Sandy Albano for staying the extra 6 months or agreeing to come back after her official retirement. She is coming up very rapidly on her last day of work, because beyond a certain number of hours, she has to give up her retirement pay, which she has no intention of doing. So sometime in the next week or two, Sandy will be phased out for good, and Melissa Ruberio will be taking off. So I hope Sandy gets to enjoy her retirement, and I certainly appreciate all the work she's done for us. So we've already talked about the special meeting in June, so we don't need to say anything about that. As far as your job as a liquor commission goes, the Lipton Energy liquor application was approved by BCC. The Riverside what? ABCC.
Wow.
2 C's, forgot the last C. What?
You said BCC.
Oh, sorry, ABCC, my error. So the application for Riverside has been resubmitted because there were some errors in the initial application. We've already talked about the dust mitigation, so I don't need to state anything there other than the zoning enforcement officer is still continuing with the daily fines. And once a week, we send them a letter with 7 more fines, pull out of the fine book, and submitted to BCC, which they acknowledge and then do nothing about. So the Capital Planning Commission is making strong progress. So hopefully by fall, we'll have a lot more to show for that. We have approved Town Web as the vendor. We had a little hiccup with the contract of that, but we went back and renegotiated it because they decided they want all their money up front, and I said absolutely not. So now we have a more reasonable payment schedule based on work done So, and it was the same thing for the time and attendance software. We have received the hardware for that. I had a discussion with Mitch Lacker last week. Their guys are coming in hopefully this week or next week to complete the installation of the equipment. And then there's training involved for April, and they've got to start the setup. The goal there is to implement it sometime in early August, to push it back so it's not right at the start of the fiscal year, because frankly, the treasurer was a little freaked out with all the stuff she had to do with the rollover to the new year and wanted to delay it a bit. So I think that's a perfectly reasonable request. So Washington Mountain Road. Tony will attest, there's been some ongoing large-scale dumping of tires and trash at the turnaround at the Dalton, Washington line. That needs to be addressed somehow, and I can't tell you how because it's such a steep slope. I don't think people can practically climb down there and carry stuff out, so it would have to be in some way or other gathered up and then winched up. It's complicated because I'm not convinced it's on Dalton's property. Some of it probably is, some of it probably isn't, and it's also on land owned by the Pittsfield Water Reservoir, even though it's in Dalton and in Washington. So I don't know what the resolution is going to be, but Bud and I are conversing on that.
I should point out, I brought this up to the Green Committee also, after speaking with Bud, and there are pictures that are just upsetting. If there's a tire, there's got to be dozens, if not hundreds of tires. You just go right up and dump, and I asked David, the chair of the Green Committee, to draft a letter to the state, to the DEP, because in fact, the turnaround, when I Google mapped it, part of it is in Washington, part of it is in Dalton, and I didn't even think of the ravine at the bottom being Pittsfield. So this isn't a Dalton issue, it's really three communities.
It's three-town issue,
And
yeah.
as Eric said, the ravine has to slope down 60 feet. And
Are there is there signage there at present?
there is your camera, there is no camera. It's just false. So the notion of blocking it off in the non-winter months, gating it off, but the bigger issue is how to clean up what is just is a daunting task. So that letter will hopefully be sent to our attention. It's very straightforward, just saying, what do we do? And it's also going to the Washington Selectboard too. I'll ask David to send it to Pittsfield. I don't know who in Pittsfield, but maybe the mayor or something. I don't.
Well, I would probably start with Ricardo Morales.
Okay, I'll ask David.
And if you have a copy of that letter, I can forward it to Ricardo.
He's drafting it. So we just met on Wednesday, so David's drafting it.
Okay, and we already talked a little bit about East Housatonic, that the bridge deck was poured today, so that's quite encouraging. If you've never seen him pour a bridge deck, it is pretty impressive. I was a bit sad to have missed it today. I got that in there about 9 and they were already cleaning up for the day. So, but kudos for them. And I certainly appreciate the heck out of the state for taking over control of the project and getting it done in a timely fashion. I will certainly follow up with a very nice thank you letter to our district manager who made that happen. It helps that one of their chief engineers lives in Dalton. Yeah, no, that was great. And that's pretty much all I have, unless you have questions for me. And
I
then,
have two quick questions.
Shoot.
I want to direct this one to Lori. Lori, is that sewer meeting still on for Wednesday from 1 to 2?
That is the 25%?
Yeah.
Mission Road, yes,
It's on.
yes.
So are we gonna gather in the town hall and,
You can, yes, I can set up,
yeah,
yep.
who's gonna be there, like Eric, me, Bud?
Bud
You
will
want to take it back?
probably stay in his office. Eric?
Mark, I don't know about Mark.
Well, anyway, I'll be there.
Okay, yeah, so it might just be you in Eric's office. I can check with Bud, he usually stays in his own office.
My second question, Tony, this would include you.
Thank you.
I'm reading the Springfield Union today, Springfield Republican. I hate to say that word, but anyway. It appears that was a major money, millions appropriated for charging stations in the United States. And somehow Mr. Trump managed to stop it.
Yeah.
You were basically in charge of our charging station expansion. Did it get?
Well, fortunately, we did use state monies, and we have 2 charging areas. One behind the CRA, the irrigation that
Okay,
let us
so it's
use
been
it.
completed.
It's been completed, well completed. These are the maximum for level 2 chargers, and that means they're the fastest charging at level 2 at almost 20 kilowatts versus a typical 6 or 7 kilowatts.
Okay.
And our rate is excellent. The other station is at, oh my goodness, where's the other one?
Being
Right
the
here.
CRA.
Here, I was, yeah.
Right here.
Oh, CRA in here.
Yeah, right here.
Yep.
So that's there also. The nice thing about the CRA is, my projection was that EVs would pick up. That can accommodate 5 more stations. So we had close to over 150,000 infrastructure ready to go.
Were we gonna do one in Greenwich Park?
We were, but funds were limited, so we used these 2, and
So
actually.
these 2 have been completed?
They're all
Okay.
set, and the only other site is, it's paved right by Pine Grove, and that was for a level 1, and that's still in the works. Green Committee, Lori's more on that than I am now, but she's looking at a level 1, but monies are dissipating.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
I was reading that article, and I wondered what happened to ours. I didn't know that
We
2
got-
had been completed, 2 haven't. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Anything else?
Yep.
Okay.
And I have seen them in use, which is a good thing.
Go to the next item on our agenda, town manager update. Future end agenda items. Anybody on the board?
No, Jim.
No?
Not at this time.
Jean?
No, not right now.
Me? Okay. Items not anticipated before the meeting?
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Mr. Hassoun was in town hall this morning.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Hassoun, Eli Hassoun.
Yes.
From Dalton Auto Express.
Hmm?
And he informed me that his special permit had been approved by the zoning department, the zoning board, and he requested that we approve his class 2 license application. So he did submit his application, which you have in front of you, and I asked that you open as a licensing board to review that and approve it.
Okay.
Do you have it, John?
I have an
I
extra.
think I have
Oh,
this
that's
this
that
time.
one, yeah.
Mr. Chair, I open that we open as a licensing board.
Second?
Second, okay. We are open as, now as a license board. Okay, the one item for consideration is the issuance of the Class 2 used car license to Dalton Auto Express Incorporated, 621 Main Street, Dalton, Mass. 01226. For the public's information, that's the old abandoned gas station right in the middle of town, formerly known as the Esso station and the Exxon station and several other things. And Mr. Hassoun and his family also own the Auto Express on Housatonic Street, East Housatonic Street, and it's known as a first-class operation, and it really is. And when he undertook this endeavor, he told me this one would be too. And he has definitely spent the money cleaning up that lot. He's fenced it, rehabilitated the building, and paved the whole parking lot at a large expense. And the place looks tremendous compared to what it looked like before.
Yep.
And, you know, how long did we have an abandoned gas station right in the dead center of town? Must have been at least 10 years. O'Connell owned it. And O'Connell sold it to him, I understand, through the real estate sales, that O'Connell has also sold what is known as the Red Block. And that's the apartment house directly behind it, going up Daly Avenue. So, that's good too, because that's, you know, it's a real estate development corporation. So, I think that's all good news for the town. And he's also, he kept the old gas station sign, it's a large sign, and he's put up a sign, I just saw it today, Auto Express. And plus, he's got several cars on the lot already.
Yep.
Yes.
And as soon as we okay this license, I'm assuming that he can start selling them. Okay.
Can I read it to make
Yeah,
a
sure.
motion, John?
Yeah,
first?
go ahead. You want to
Okay.
make the motion?
All right, I make a motion that we accept Auto Express license, Class 2 license to sell vehicles at 621 Main Street by Ellie and Melissa Hassoun.
I second that.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Except to say, hey, thanks to the Hassoun family for cleaning up that,
We got to take a vote, John.
oh. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
How you doing, John?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the Hassoun family for
It
cleaning
does,
up
I
that.
walk by there with my dog every day, and it looks really nice, so.
Yep, they did a tremendous job, didn't spare any money.
Yep.
I do
Alright.
apologize that I did not print the license in advance for your
That's fine,
signatures, so
that's fine.
I will ask you to swing by town hall sometime tomorrow to sign that.
Okay.
Will do, Lori, good job bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.
I have one remark.
Go ahead.
I just want to encourage everyone in this room and out watching that Saturday looks like beautiful weather, and we have our third Dalton Day, and we've got a great program lined up. We have a tent that will be going up on Friday afternoon, and then we'll be here all day Saturday. So hopefully people will show up, and it's going to be a fun time. And I just have to say how much I appreciate the time and effort Lori has put in particular, and we've had a really wonderful committee putting stuff together, including Peg, and so I'm just really appreciative of the efforts of the Dalton Cultural Council leading up to it. So we look forward to seeing everyone there.
Very well said, thank you, Jimmy.
I think you're gonna have a great day Saturday. One is the weather that's gonna bring people out.
I think so too.
And there's,
And we have like a really full lawn of vendors, so there's gonna be a lot of things to look at and really showcasing, the great region that we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just have one thing, John.
Thank you.
I hate to end it
Go ahead, go ahead.
on a note of concern, let's put it that way, but the weather is good. There's more e-bikes out there. And, matter of fact, there was just an accident here in Dalton, an incident here in Dalton Friday afternoon, an e-bike hitting a motorcycle, and the e-bike escaped. So, I know our traffic commission has put out a statement. It's on Facebook, but it is serious. These are not bicycles. These are motorized vehicles. Helmets are required. It's on Facebook. I'm not going to get into the details, but I would ask parents to please monitor their children. We don't want an accident. Their physicians are reporting many, many incidents of accidents. So for what it's worth for the public, please be aware.
you probably read it as well as I have, that there is legislation pending in the legislature, and not certain where that's gonna go. You never tell with the legislature, but it's gonna require age requirements, helmet requirements, limitations on a speed and horsepower, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So, it could be helpful, but again, all over the country, they're all over the place.
Yep.
I'm happy to read announcements if it's,
Yeah, we gotta do that.
yeah.
Okay, we good? All right. Anything else before I read the announcements?
That's good, John.
Okay, the first announcement we have is, please bring your grass clippings to the town transfer station. Okay, the second one, the town, Dalton currently has the following employment opportunities. Town clerk,
Assistant town clerk.
assistant town clerk, wow. And,
Heather, oh my,
we write some notations to it. Anyway, and two, we have a vacant position for either a volunteer or possibly a paid position at the town swap shop at the transfer station. So if anybody would like to volunteer, it's basically the hours are from 10 to 2, Friday and Saturday. So, contact for you again. 3, the ADA and the Green Dog committees are looking for volunteers. Please visit the town website for more information on any of the above announcements. Dalton's official meeting posted and agendas and minutes can be viewed at mytowngovernment.org/01226. Next meeting of the select board is scheduled for March 22nd, 2026 at 7 PM at the Dalton Senior Center.
Wait, it's not March 22nd.
June 22nd.
June 22nd. At 7 PM at the Dalton Senior Center with an option for remote participation.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you.